If you found this video, it means there is something calling out to you right now. You have to listen. You have to listen to your intuition and be authentically who you truly are. Because that's when you listen that you find opportunities that you didn't expect, but are actually very much aligned with who you want to be. Hi, I'm Chloe and I make videos. I talk about what comes to me energetically and about manifestation, psychology, and how we can transform our beliefs to attract the desired reality that we want. Today, the topic is about detaching from who you think you should be, detaching from your expectations, and letting life take care of you. By following what you feel, by following your intuition, you get to a place of so much alignment that everything feels like destiny. Everything feels alive. It feels like it's flowing, and even though it's often the unknown, it can be scary. But I feel like for you right now, it's time for you to step into this new phase of life, this new level of consciousness, this new place where your priority is not controlling circumstances. It's not about controlling where you're going. It's about it's about checking where you are energetically and realize, am I aligned with my values? Am I aligned with what I really want? Because everything comes from here. If you are aligned here, you will attract naturally what you want. But you have to step out of this identity you have built for yourself, of this identity you think belongs to you. Because the people who know you, your family, your friends, they think they know you. They think they know how you will react to things, and that kind of box, when you interact with them, that kind of boxes you into a persona that limits you, that makes you stay stagnant, that prevents you from going where you want. It's not about being, they are not necessarily trying to keep you down, but by anticipation, by anticipating who they think you are, they are limiting you in some way. And so are you, because every time you want to conform by fear of betrayal, you may fear betraying them, you may fear losing them, you may fear their reaction, you may even feel like they're going to be sad or that you are abandoning them in some way. But you're not, because you are choosing yourself. And what I've often found is that when I choose myself, instead of trying to please others or be liked and adapt myself too much, I realized that that's when people like me more, actually. Because when I try to impress, even if it's on a subconscious level, when I try to impress people, when I try to be perfect, when I try to adapt to what I think they need, what I think they want from me, they can feel it. They can know that I'm being fake, even if I'm not being fake in a very grandiose way. I'm being fake in some way. And they can pick up on that energetically, vibrationally. And even for myself, I am not truly aligned. And these days, I've been asking, as you may have been asking if you are also finding this video now, I've been asking for more alignment. And what I found that was happening is that I was being confronted with all the parts of myself where I was still acting and performing in some way. And for example, I had started this space in French, my language, but I talked to friends and someone told me I should switch to English. And that opened Pandora's box for me, because I had been considering switching to English for since I started. Actually, I wanted to do it in English, but I felt in some way that maybe I should do it in French, that maybe I should like give what I know to the French people, because where I'm learning is always in the English speaking space. And I thought maybe that's why I speak both languages, you know, maybe that's because I need to be the bridge between the two cultures, between English and French, because in France they don't, a lot of people don't know about what I know. That's talked about a lot in English speaking worlds. For example, this kind of videos, they don't exist a lot in French, but they do in English. But I realized when this person told me about it, it wasn't about what this person thought was best. It was actually bringing myself to face what I've been wanting to do since the beginning, to face how I was adapting myself on a subconscious level to what I thought others wanted of me. Also, from the people around me, my friends and my family, I thought that's what they needed from me. I thought they need me to do my activity in French. And I didn't even realize how much I was giving away, how much I was preventing myself from taking up the space that I deserve, that you deserve. I'm using my example to tell you that you too deserve to get to do your favorite things in all the ways. Like what I'm doing with my activity with Astoria, my channel, my Instagram, it's all my favorite things, but it was not in my favorite way, because when I was speaking French, I felt like I was playing a role in some way. I was acting. I didn't like it. It didn't make me, I don't know, it didn't resonate as much. I felt like I had to overcompensate for something. Whereas my soul, my art, my poetry, my text, everything I write comes out in English. When I learn, it's in English. Everything I do is in English. So I don't know. When I think about it now, it's like my favorite thing. But I have somehow kept these things separate. Like my work with the feminine and the somatic therapy and the English, they were separate. But in real life, in myself, when I'm alone, when I'm not on social media, they are always intertwined. I always do everything in English. So that's why I thought when this friend told me about it, it made me realize, wow, I've been preventing myself from something. Maybe I was hiding in some way. Maybe it was my way of avoiding the success I know I deserve, the know I'm going to get. Because I somehow didn't want to take up too much space. I somehow didn't want to get out of the little box that I had put myself in. So I think you should give yourself permission today to look at the places where you are listening to yourself but not quite, because you can do better. You can listen to yourself fully. You can get to do all your favorite things all together. Why would this desire why would it require you to make so many compromises, you know? When I was sharing things in English to my French community, it took me so many hours just to translate, just the translation thing. And sometimes the text that I would write, they were very poetic, and I thought they were beautiful in English, but then I had to translate them and they lost their magic, you know? They lost what was coming out of my soul. And that's what I want to say today, is that when you have to compensate and you have to reduce yourself in some way, you lose that magic. You lose the direct connection from your heart to the outside world. It's always like this in artistic expression. You always have to understand that there is a world inside of you, and when you put the expression through the material, when you give it birth, it's always less than it was when it was in your head. But when you have to overcompensate in such a way, you really lose even more. You really strip down the thing that made it so vibrant inside of you. I think we have to confront the belief that, I think some of us have the belief that we can have our dreams, but that we have to make some compromises, that we have to shrink a little bit our dream, that we have to be more realistic or adapt or not scare some people from our surroundings, that we have to respect these people, because I felt like I was betraying my friends because some of them don't speak English, and I thought, am I betraying them if I start everything in English? And you understand maybe from an exterior point of view that that doesn't feel like it. If my dream is to express in English, I'm not betraying my friends by being myself. And that's what I was saying in the beginning of the video, is that when you are truly authentic to your core, but like really to the detail, people don't take it as a betrayal. People, you cannot think, assume what people will feel about you when you do what you want, because they can feel when you are fully authentic to yourself. They can feel when you choose you. They can feel it, and the type of opportunities that come when you choose you fully are quite amazing and not expected. But when you let go of who you are trying to be, but that's not who you are, something opens up. Something just relaxes. It's like everything becomes more fluid and you start to flow in life. Everything becomes natural. So if you want something, so if you know what you want, if you are going towards a goal and something's not picking up, try to see where you are still pushing yourself down, where you are still preventing yourself from going too far. How are you reducing yourself even when you are trying? Even when you start to believe in yourself, there might be still some remnants of this belief that you don't deserve to do it exactly like you want to do it. And I'm not talking about controlling other people and controlling circumstances, but the way you express yourself, the way you want to do things, what you want to create, you get the authority on that. You get to choose, and you don't have to think about other people in this equation. It's like in art. When I started writing seriously my book, I stopped being able to write, because when I was writing at first, I wrote the first 100 pages because I didn't think about the reader. But when I started to say, oh my god, I'm going to publish this book someday, I couldn't write anymore, because I was always thinking, oh, but what are the readers are going to think about this? But when I started to forget, I made a conscious effort to forget about this again, to just really express how I want without thinking about what the people are going to believe about me. Are they going to understand what I mean, etc. That's when I was able to write again and make art again. Even in my art, because I draw and I make graphic design pieces, art, and it's the same thing. I realized that I was not making art truly from my heart every time I thought about posting it on Instagram, because I was always thinking of trying to make something cool or something beautiful, and I was trying to use my skills to make something appealing, instead of really pouring directly from my heart, even if it's not the best visually, it's the best soulfully. So that's the message today. Try to see where you can tweak and get even closer to your true authenticity, and to the core of who you are, of who you truly are, of your soul, and try to connect to that. And maybe you will find that the world opens you up to new opportunities that might surprise you, but that are very aligned with who you truly are. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it resonated with you and I hope it helped. Please tell me in the comments how you are feeling you could be more aligned with yourself, and what are your goals for the next year. Bye!